Welcome to beautiful Citi Field as the Miami Marlins visit the New York Mets for the Mets' home opener in this 2023 season. The Mets are off to a hot start, coming in at 5-2, pacing the NL East, while the Marlins sit in dead last at 1-6. On the hill today for the Mets will be David Peterson. Peterson had a disastrous start his last time out, and he will certainly be looking not only to pitch a little bit better, but to go deeper into the ball game. 4 2/3 innings is not going to cut it for any starter.
Leading off the afternoon for Miami,
and the hope from not only Buck Showalter but also from everyone in the Mets camp is that he'll be able to get back on track against a Marlins lineup that by and large struggled mightily the first time these two teams saw each other in Miami. Avisail Garcia will lead us off. Garcia was an all-star in 2017 as he looks at a ball outside and then fouls off a pitch to make the count 2-2. 2-2 to Garcia is fouled off again. Peterson not likely to shock anybody with his velocity, but the variety of pitches that he has, his ability to mix speeds and hopefully paint corners will be his ticket to success as a slider misses inside. Good at bat to start off the game by Garcia, working the count full. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Sinker fooled Garcia, and Peterson starts the game by winning a lengthy battle. Next up is Garrett Cooper, the first baseman. Back in familiar territory after starting his career with the Yankees. Peterson, just as he did to Garcia, missed outside and then came back with a strike, so the count is run to 2-2. 2-2 Cooper is fouled away. No shortage of foul balls so far for the Marlins. They seem to be making good contact even when they're not producing anything. But Garrett Cooper meets the same fate as Avisail Garcia. Down on strikes, and Peterson has two away here to start the first. Digging in is Luis Ariz. And sitting down is Luis Ariz. Peterson strikes out the side to start us off. Excellent start for the embattled lefty. And we head to the home half of the first with zeros across the board. If Peterson had a disastrous first start, then Luzardo's was some kind of nuclear explosion, giving up a heck of a lot of runs in not too many innings, which puts his ERA in the 30s. So he too will be looking to bounce back here. Leading us off will be Chas McCormick. Chas oftentimes doesn't play against righties, but has been tabbed to lead off against lefties because of his historical success getting on base against them. He sees the count run to 2-2. Takes a fastball inside, moving count full. And he will take a walk. Luzardo is unlikely to approach triple digits, but does have a nice, easy 95-96 on his fastball. We'll see if McCormick is on the move here. He indeed is, and he is toast. Looked like a bad jump there from the Mets leadoff hitter. Stallings behind the dish wasted no time in gunning him down. So just as quickly as the Mets get a runner on, the Mets now have one out. Leody Taveras stands in, counts 1-2, and Taveras chases a circle change, well located by Luzardo. And there are two away. Pete Alonso will stand in. Fouls the first pitch away, which brings us to a payoff pitch. So the 3-2 is going to be outside to Alonso. That was a close one. It's a gutsy take on a 3-2 count, but it did miss the zone, however slightly. And that'll bring up Francisco Alvarez. Alvarez swings through a fastball. Good location there. And the Mets are out of the first. We head to the second, knotted at 0. Leading off the Marlin half of the second will be Jorge Soler. One-time 40-plus home run hitter who has found a new home in Miami. Soler's going to sky one to center. Taveras settles under it, makes the play, 1 away. Peyton Burdick will follow. Burdick takes strike 1. And Peyton, very recent draft pick of the Marlins. But General Manager Kim Ng has insisted if you can play, you can play. She's not worried about anybody being too green around the gills. And so Burdick is up here getting the reps. He skies a 2-2 pitch to right. McCormick is there. You'll see McCormick pulling that one in. With his right hand, because McCormick is one of the very few. In fact, off the top of my head, I can't think of any other players like this. One of the very few players in the league who bats right-handed as base hit to left. Cannon out there. He's going to take care of the runner at second. Great throw. But as I was saying, McCormick is one of the few, and maybe the only, players in Major League Baseball who bats right-handed and throws left-handed. Seeing that reversed is not uncommon at all, but that's an interesting approach that McCormick has there. As Longoria digs in, quickly finds the count, move to 3-2. Payoff pitch to Longoria, who homered on opening day against the Marlins. He's going to lace one to left. Soler will track it down, but not before Longoria cruises into second with a leadoff double. Hanging breaking pitch over the heart of the plate. Longoria made no mistakes with it. And the Mets may be in business here in the second. Excellent job staying back there. And the slider wasn't too bad of a pitch, but certainly wasn't fooling Longoria. As Will Smith digs in, takes ball 3 low. Smith does have a homer early here in the 2023 campaign, but has otherwise struggled a bit, coming in with a .214 average. And Smith will take a sinker low. That will be the 3rd walk of the day for Luzardo, who has certainly struggled to find the strike zone with any consistency. We'll see if that improves. And if it doesn't, if nothing else, the pitch count is going to become a problem very quickly. As Danny Mendick stands in. Mendick, we saw the top half of the inning with a laser to second, and he is going to benefit from what the scorers are calling a base hit, and I can't help but completely disagree with that. Was not an easy play for a Rays, and likely would not have been a double play, but absolutely is a play that should have been made. The Mets will take it. Regardless, they got bases loaded, nobody out, as Jeremy Pena stands in with a 1-2 count. Pena's going to foul off a fastball. Pena, you will often see hitting leadoff against righties, but against lefties, Buck Showalter wants to kind of do a bookending leadoff hitters idea, having Pena and Edman towards the bottom, and giving Chas McCormick and Taveras a chance up near the top of the lineup. Pena fouls a couple pitches off and then takes a sinker outside, moving count to 2-2. Mets have bases loaded, nobody out. Would love to cash in. Pena takes a really close pitch, but inside, so the count is full. Oh, caught him looking. I think Pena might have been too eager to take yet another walk that Luzardo seems to be handing out. And so he took a fastball right down Main Street. That's not a good look on a 3-2 count. But one away as Tommy Edman stands in. Edman is off to a scorching start here in 2023, hitting nearly 400 with 7 RBIs. But he takes a strike, and the count moves to 1-2. Fastball up and away. 2-2 is the count. Fastball right down the middle for Edman, but he's a little too eager. Fouls it away. He's going to want that one back. And another fastball, and Edman is again too eager. Swings way early.
The right fielder, number 2.
And Luzardo is 1 strike away from getting out of a big jam. 3-2 count to McCormick right away. McCormick laces one up the middle. The runners are all in motion, so 2 will score. Mendick over to third, and that's a tough one for the Marlins. You get bases loaded, nobody out, back-to-back strikeouts to put yourself in a position to get out of it, and then McCormick laces a single up the middle and puts the Mets up 2-0. Leody Taveras, with his .320 average, strides in, chases a pitch way high. Particularly in a 2-1 count, that is not something you want to see. But we'll see if he can bounce back here. 2-2. Oh, that's just bad baseball. Taking a fastball down the middle after chasing one high is not what we want. But the Mets do cash in on the promise of a bases loaded inning and take a 2-0 lead heading into the third. Jacob Amaya, who got his first major league hit against the Mets on opening day with a double, he'll stand in. Young shortstop for the Marlins comes in hitting .263. Peterson has gotten off to a strong start. We talked about just how much his last outing seemed to buoy his resilience heading into today and kind of strengthen his resolve to make sure that this opening day was not some sort of repeat of his last time out. And so far, he looks to be living up to that promise. As Amaya flies out to right, and Segura quickly has 2 strikes on him. Good take by Segura there. Inside fastball did not quite catch enough of the plate for our home plate umpire. So the count moves to 2-2. Peterson brings in a 12-6 curve, which I don't believe we've seen until just there today. He sticks with the off-speed, freezes Segura with a well-located circle change for his 4th strikeout of the day and 2nd out of the inning. Jacob Stallings, last hope in the 3rd for the Marlins, and he's going to roll over to Longoria. Throws over to Alonso, and the Marlins are out of the 3rd. Peterson has successfully ventured through 1 trip of the Marlins lineup without surrendering any damage. It's 2-0 Mets. Heading to the bottom of the 3rd. Pete Alonso will lead us off. Pete is late on a fastball middle and up. Pitch that we've seen Pete hit over the fence numerous times in his career here in Queens as he takes a slider inside and a fastball outside to move the count full. Pete did walk in his first at bat and has walked a good amount so far this year, already recording 6 base on balls. And he was going to get a 7th, but he couldn't lay off the high fastball. Luzardo rings up his 6th strikeout of the day, and combined with the walks, it's put him at almost 70 pitches here, 1 out into the 3rd. So that'll be something to monitor. Alvarez takes a strike to move the count to 1-2. And he too cannot lay off the high cheese. The Mets are really struggling with their plate discipline right now. You gotta hope that that'll improve as the game goes on. Longoria is going to roll over to 3rd. Segura makes the out. And the Mets are done in the 3rd. Probably ruining a couple missed opportunities. Avisail Garcia, the top of the order, will lead us off in the 4th. Garcia had a nice battle to start off the game, but did end up falling victim to the strikeout. He's going to take 2 pitches outside and inside to start. bringing this count to 3-1. And he's going to chop one up the middle. And though the rules in Major League Baseball have restricted the amount of shifting that teams can do, the Mets still do pay off their advanced scouting. Garcia hits one right to Edman, playing pretty much right at the middle. And the shift claims another hit, even in 2023 for the first out of the inning. Garrett Cooper will stand in, and he is not going to worry about the shift as he lines one over Edman into right center field. 101 miles an hour off the bat. And the Marlins have a base runner here in the fourth. Arraez is going to bloop one to left. Tough play for Pena, and he makes it. That was reminiscent of, had it been, I don't know, 30 feet over to the left. Very reminiscent of a play made by Derek Jeter diving into the stands against the Red Sox once upon a time. Nice play by Pena to take a bloop hit away from Arraez and hopefully prevent this inning from becoming anything troublesome. Jorge Soler's going to stand in. Foul away a 2-2 pitch. Peterson delivers. And that one is laced up the middle as well. Base hit for Soler. Cooper over to second and no further, but the Marlins do have a runner in scoring position and 2 men on here with 2 outs in the fourth. We'll see if the Mets want to have a conversation, and though it does not look like it, it looks like they're going to let Peterson work this one out himself. He's got Peyton Burdick down 1-2 and strikes him out with a nice fastball inside. So well done by Peterson to pitch out of some potential trouble. The Marlins record 2 singles, but no more. We head to the bottom of the fourth with the Mets leading 2-0. Digging in will be Will Smith. Smith takes a fastball outside, and you see Braxton Garrett getting loose in the pen for the Marlins. It's no surprise with Luzardo already approaching 80 pitches before he's recorded an out in the fourth. Smith fouls a fastball away, bringing the count to 2-2. And decent contact on a fastball towards the outside of the zone, but a no trouble at all fly to center. Peyton Burdick will put it out. And the Mets have been retired for the first time this inning. Danny Mendick stands in. Mendick was generously given a single by our scorer here on a grounder to second that more likely was an error, but he ended up getting all the way to third in the bottom of the second before that inning fizzled out. And he is going to stand there like a house by the side of the road as another fastball goes by a Mets hitter. 8th strikeout of the day for Luzardo, and they are just in a funk with their reading of the strike zone. You got to hope that'll improve. Pena skies one to left. Good contact. Soler's going back to the track to the wall, and that one is gone. Pena turned on an inside fastball. Actually a pretty good pitch by Luzardo, but he showed the quickness of his wrist and the strength in his body to push that one over the wall in left field. Pena's second homer of the season, and the Mets have their first homer here at Citi Field in 2023 and a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the fourth as Tommy Edman stands in, takes a ball low. Nice slider by Luzardo there, finds a zone. 2-2 is the count. And another slider fools Edman. He swings through it. So the Mets are out of the fourth, but not before Jeremy Pena tees one up and sends it on its way. It's 3-0 New York heading to the fifth. Yuli Gurriel stands in. Gurriel laced a ball to left in his first at bat, and sure enough does it again. Mendick is going to be able to make this play for the first out of the inning. Last time he was up, he hit one right about there, but it fell in front of Mendick. Yuli tried to test the left fielder's arm and did not win that battle, so Mendick has foiled his plans again. Sure enough, the next hitter, Jacob Amaya, laces one to left, but Mendick is there saving the day. Rather than a bat signal, we need something for Mr. Mendick here. because he is indeed the savior of the 5th inning so far, as Gene Segura takes a ball outside. Peterson works the 2-2, fastball high. Segura does not chase, and that brings the count full. We'll see if Peterson brings in a pitch we haven't seen too often. He does with the curve, but Segura is not fooled as he smokes one into center for a base hit. Next up is Stallings as Segura takes off, and he's going to make it down to second. Alvarez's throw is not in time, and that's Segura's first stolen base on the campaign. Looked like he got it. He sure did get a great jump there. Alvarez couldn't quite nail him down, but Stallings swings through the pitch, so we have 2 strikes on him. And Stallings is going to roll one over. Edman is there, gathers, throws to Alonso, and Peterson is able to strand another 2-out hit and keep the Marlins scoreless. Braxton Garrett will take over. His ERA is better than Luzardo's, but it's still double digits, so I guess positives and negatives all around. He's appeared in 4 innings so far this year, and immediately he has Chas McCormick in a 3-2 count. Chas swings through a fastball. Good first pitch from Garrett. The Mets were not necessarily catching up with Luzardo's fastball too much anyways, but I think they need to dial back a little bit for Garrett, who throws maybe 5 mile an hour less hard than Luzardo did, as Leody Taveras takes a ball, bringing the count to 2-1. Taveras fouls off a sinker. Looks like he is out in front of that one, just as McCormick was. 2-2. Another sinker. Good pitch. And a good job by Taveras. Foul it off. So we'll go again. 2-2. Taveras chases a fastball, pokes it to right. I don't know how that ball was able to catch up to his bat, but we got a bloop single out of it.
The first baseman.
That was honestly like a magic trick. Impressive feat by Taveras there. And we'll see if he's in motion. Looks like he's keen to be, and indeed he is off. Alonso takes the pitch. Taveras down to second and throws not in time. So we get a stolen base in the top and bottom half of the inning. Good work there by Taveras to immediately capitalize on his bloop hit. Pete Alonso stands in with a 2-2 count. Takes a sinker low, moving the count full. 1 out here in the 5th, runner on second. Mets lead 3-0. Pete gets a hanging breaking ball that he laces up the middle right off of Garrett. That has got to hurt. 108 miles an hour off the bat. And so we'll see if the Marlins check on Braxton Garrett here. Scary situation anytime we see a line drive up the middle. In this case, it was a grounder, but it was not your average grounder. So Garrett seems to be indicating that he's okay, and he's just going to kind of hobble it off. Makes the play at first. Taveras over to third. 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th for Alvarez. Alvarez is going to foul off a sinker low. Looked like he chased, but still made contact. Brings the count to 2-2. And Alvarez is going to make good contact on a circle change, but Segura's got it. Over to Cooper at first, and the Mets are out of the 5th. Our score remains 3-0 New York. As we head to the 6th, Garcia wastes no time, grounding one, and Peterson, apparently last couple minutes are pitcher fielding practice time. Peterson handles it well. And we have one away here in the 6th. Cooper is going to victimize Peterson again, 105 miles an hour off the bat, and that one's off the wall in right center. However, you got to wonder, maybe Cooper didn't get a great break out of the box, because Taveras did bring it in time, but Cooper is going to be limited to a single, so that's a win for the Mets there. That looked like a potential homer off the bat, and instead, following an raised ground ball, which goes 5-4-3, all of a sudden the Marlins inning is over. Peterson's out of the 6th, and we are into the home half. the Mets still leading 3-0. Excellent turn there by the New York infielders. Garrett remains on the hill for a second inning of work, as Longoria chops one. Sure enough, right back to Garrett. Looking like a carbon copy of the top half of the inning. One away. Will Smith will dig in. Smith is going to line one to left, and that's going to find the corner. It looks like Soler does track it down, and Smith's going to hold up. It looks like with the throw being offline, he may have been safe, but I think Soler did really well to get there in time, and that ball didn't have quite enough pace on it to get all the way to the wall. So Smith has a well-struck leadoff single. If this is anything like the top half of the inning, we know what's going to happen next. Mendick, eager to prove that prophecy wrong, laces a slurve foul. 1-2 the count. And Danny Mendick is not here for any of my slander. Hanging curveball is smashed to left. That baby is long gone. Here comes the apple for the second time today, and the Mets take a 5-0 lead here on their, not really opening day, but celebration for all in the form of a home opener. Danny Mendick made no mistake. Different curveball from Garrett. 109.9. Come on, guys. Let's give him 110 off the bat. Over 400 feet. Beautiful looking home run. And now the Mets really have some breathing room here as they try and win their first home game of the year. Jeremy Pena takes a ball outside and fouls away a sinker, bringing the count to 2-2. Pena homered his last time up. Slurve misses inside, and the count is full. Oh, and Pena, he's getting into the act again. Sinker right down the middle, and there it goes. Pena's second homer in as many at-bats, the Mets' second homer in as many at-bats, and it's turning into a home run derby here in Queens as the Mets lead 6-0. Not only have we had 2 homers and 2 at-bats for Pena and for the Mets, we've also had 2 bat flips and 2 at-bats, which is, I think, the most exciting part. And that spells the end of the day for Garrett. Tough way to leave. But the ball will be passed over to Stephen O'Kurt, who does come in with a 0 ERA. Kurt's going to miss low against Tommy Edman, so the count is 2-1. Two-one fastball, skied to right. Garcia has a beat on it and puts it away for the second out of the inning.
The batter, the right fielder.
With Peterson not necessarily struggling, but also at nearly 100 pitches, looks like the Mets are going to get Trevor Rosenthal and Sam Henges up and warming in the pen. I think especially with the score being stretched out a little bit, Buck Showalter would be keen to use as few relievers as possible, with the Mets having already played 7 games in the early going here this year. Chas McCormick stands in, takes 2 pitches, 1 low, 1 outside, moving the count to 3-1. And Kurt's going to walk him on 3 consecutive pitches out of the zone. So McCormick is on. And we'll wonder, even though he got caught stealing last time, if he'll be in motion here. Looks like he will be. Kurt delivers McCormick down to second, throw not in time. The Mets have stolen their second base of the day. Looks like he got a much better jump this time than he did his last time he tried, and sure enough, with a top speed of 19.8 miles an hour, McCormick is able to get in there safely. Tavares does take a ball high and lines one to right off the glove of Cooper. Crazy scenario there. The Mets do get a run, but Tavares, thinking Cooper was going to throw home, tried to take second. So the Mets do tack on another run in what became very quickly a big inning for the New Yorkers. 4 spot put up in the 6th. The Mets lead 7-0. Peterson already at actually 109 pitches. So we'll see if he is able to potentially get through this inning. He's already got a 3-2 count on Soler and walks the leadoff hitter. That may be the end of David Peterson's day. We'll get a mound visit. See how he's feeling. Maybe talk about dinner plans after the game. But also give the bullpen a little more time to warm up. And I think, if I had to predict, I think this is going to be Peterson's last batter no matter what. I think they want to give him a chance to end on a high note and also get those relievers nice and warm as he strikes out Burdick. Nice fastball in the inside corner. And sure enough, here comes Buck Showalter. So a great bounce back performance by David Peterson after a rough debut in 2023. Looks like the Mets are going to tab Trevor Rosenthal, who has pitched 2 scoreless innings so far this year. And Trevor's going to come in with a 3-2 count greeting him and Yuli Gurriel. Trevor burns a fastball in there and gets Gurriel to pop it up. Alonso is there for the second out of the inning. 100 miles an hour coming in, wasting no time. Jacob Amaya tries to keep the Marlins half of the 7th alive. Takes a slider on the outside corner. Good pitch there. And yet another pop-up, 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Going right to Pete Alonso. Pete settles under it. Can of corn. And we will head to the 7th inning stretch with the Mets leading 7-0. Oh, Kurt's going to stay in. By the way, of the 5 pitchers who have pitched in this game, 4 of them have been left-handed. So a little quirk there. The Marlins have only rolled out left-handed pitchers so far today. Alonso comes in with a 1-1 count and takes a fastball for a called strike. Good pitch in the upper inside corner. The 1-2 to Alonso. Hanging breaking ball, and Pete, I think, just missed it. Burdick settles under it in center without too much trouble. That looked like one of the pitches that Pete would ask for in the home run derby. But timing is just off, and so one is away here in the Met half of the 7th. Francisco Alvarez will stand in and take a strike. Alvarez 0 for 3 so far today. And 0 for 4 as he chases a slurve down in the zone. Alvarez has struggled in the early going here this year, hitting underneath the Mendoza line of 200. So we'll hope that he can get going here soon. Longoria will stand in, facing a 3-2 count. Longoria smokes on the left. This one's got a chance, and it is gone. The Mets' 4th homer of the day. Longoria's 2nd extra base hit and 2nd homer against the Marlins this season. And the New Yorkers are pouring it on now. It's 8-0 Mets. I think just another pitch that didn't have much movement, didn't have much in the way of a location to it. Straight fastball right down the middle, and there it goes. Will Smith will stand in, trying to join the party. He swings through a slider low, maybe a little too eager to join the dinger party. But squares up a fastball into right center. That'll be extra bases. In fact, a ground rule double as the ball skips over the right center fence. So Smith has a double. The Mets have yet another extra base hit. And we'll see if they can cash in another runner in scoring position as Danny Mendick stands in. Mendick swings through a fastball. Bringing the count to 2-2. And could not hold up on a slider. So Mendick is out, and the Mets are out of the 7th, but not before they tack on another run in the form of an Evan Longoria solo shot. It's 8-0 Mets. Quick pause for station identification. Rosenthal, having only thrown 8 pitches so far, is back out there for the 8th. As Segura grounds one to second, Edman dove and missed, and I'm not sure he even needed to dive. I think he might have dove right over it. So Segura has a hit, and we'll see if he's in motion again as he was earlier, having successfully stolen second base in the top half of the 5th. Jacob Stallings will stand in and foul away the first pitch, moving the count to 2-2. And Rosenthal freezes him with a nice slider. Beautiful pitch there. One away here in the top half of the 8th. As the top of the order comes up in Avisail Garcia. Garcia rolls over to short. Pena is there, flips with his glove to Edman. Edman over to Alonso. Another double play. And just when the Marlins seem to maybe have a little bit of something going, it's over before it begins. 8-0 Mets as we head to the bottom.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Marlins.
Matt Barnes will make an appearance for the Marlins. Barnes also pitched on opening day against the Mets and is the Marlins' first right-handed hurler to make a debut today. Looks like Dennis Santana and Sam Henges are still stay ready in the pen. We'll see if they maybe just try and let Rosenthal get through the 9th and call it a day. Pena will stand in with a 3-2 count. Pena's homered in each of his last 2 at-bats. And will take strike 3 on the black there. Good pitch by Barnes. And it's a shame we didn't get to see Pena at least take a hack at his 3rd home run in a row. Tommy Edman will stand in. Check swing and did not offer. So 2-1 is the count. A lollipop curve, 12-6, that Edman does not quite square up, will be put away by our A's. And Chas McCormick will try to keep the Mets half of the 8th alive as he stands in with a 1-1 count. Barnes delivers, fastball low. McCormick has been on base 3 times today. 2 walks and a single. And make it 4 as McCormick laces one to center. The Mets are still alive here in the home half of the 8th. McCormick can't ask for more out of a leadoff hitter, getting on base 4 times. In fact, in a big game of what-ifs, you wonder, as Taveras flies one to right that Garcia will put away, you wonder what may have happened if McCormick didn't come through in the bottom of the 2nd with that 2-out bases-loaded single. It looked like the Mets were going to squander bases loaded, nobody out. McCormick came through, and the wheels fell off for the Marlins shortly thereafter. Does look like Buck with Rosenthal only at 20 pitches is going to try and let him finish it out. Eric Cooper will not get his 3rd hit of the day as he lines one to Alonso, who fields it on a hop, trots over to first, and puts away Cooper for the first out of the 9th. Luis Arraez is going to stand in. Arraez has struggled with a strikeout and a double play, and falls victim to a strikeout again. 99-mile-an-hour fastball on the inside part of the black. Catches him. And Jorge Soler is the last chance for the Marlins here. And Soler is going to roll over on one to short. Pena is there. Over to Alonso. The Mets with a dominant performance in their home opener here. Couldn't ask for much more. 4 homers total. And a great bounce back start for David Peterson. The Mets keep on rolling, move to 6-2, and the Marlins fall to 1-7. as we head closer and closer to mid-April. Thank you for joining us here on a beautiful afternoon in New York City. We will see you again soon. Have a beautiful night.